Cam Ward makes big Shedeur Sanders admission to hit back at NFL after $30 million CFL side's major move. Well, right out of the gate, Shedeur Sanders seemed a lock for the 2025 NFL Draft's top picks, and deservedly so. Coach Prime's son boasted a 74% completion rate for 1,134 passing yards and 37 touchdowns, impressive stats that garnered league-wide attention. ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr. even predicted a guaranteed high first-round pick way before Shedeur even hit the draft. But then winds changed and opinions changed. And the result? He isn't even a top 10 pick. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, one constant voice always backs Shedeur, and that's his old friend and competitor Cam Ward, who's refusing to let the noise drown his talent. This year's draft was all about who's going to be the first overall pick this year between Cam and Shedeur. On one side, Cam Ward stood tall, making number 1 overall buzz, while on the other side, Shedeur Sanders kept rocketing up to number 1 only to keep falling at number 21 or even further in the mock drafts. But now that Cam is number 1 overall and Shedeur is number 144, the debate is finally over. And Cam's recent Shedeur revelation shows perfectly that their brotherhood is still intact. Now, Titans' new face Cam Ward, running some behind-the-scenes drills of the NFL drafts, got into a rapid-fire round where busts in, with the boy show's Taylor Lewan threw a fiery question at him. Who's the best quarterback in this draft that's not you? And without wasting a second, Cam replied, Shedeur Sanders. And this isn't the first time he has made sure Shedeur gets the amount of appreciation he deserves. After the drafts, during his introductory press conference with the Titans, Cam Ward talked about Sanders' draft fall and said, "It did surprise me, because he's a good quarterback. He doesn't get a lot of the credit he deserves, especially the plays that he made at Colorado. A lot of quarterbacks in the country aren't making those plays. When he gets his opportunity, I'm pretty sure it will happen soon today. He'll make sure he'll make plays on the field when he gets the chance." Look, it's an undeniable fact that the NFL Combine's arrogant and brash tags made things worse for Shedeur, but him not getting picked till the 5th round is shocking. Picture yourself in the green room, waiting for your name to be called, only to see 5 quarterbacks getting picked ahead of you. That's exactly what Shedeur Sanders felt when he saw Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shaw, Jalen Milroe, and Dylan Gabriel going out of that room. Even teams that were rooting high for him, like the Giants, surpassed him. But why? Well, it turns out that Shedeur's behavior made things awful for him. Yes, you read that right. ESPN's Todd McShay dropped a shocker about the Giants' intentions behind not drafting Shedeur Sanders, as their one-on-one session didn't go well with him. And they felt that Sanders was unprepared for an offensive install with their HC, Brian Daboll. Shedeur didn't have a great interview with Brian Daboll in a private visit, McShay said. An install package came in. Preparation wasn't there for it. Got called out on it. Didn't like that. Brian didn't appreciate him not liking it. And even after the drafts, when reporters asked Daboll about their meeting, he simply dodged the question, stating, "We had good meetings with all the guys that came in here on 30 visits," he said. Quarterback meetings were productive. We're happy with Jackson Dart. So, one thing is pretty clear. Shedeur's fall isn't the result of his performance. But even if they aren't valuing his worth, there are teams dying to get him in. Shedeur Sanders' $30 million CFL turnaround. This draft season was sure filled with ups and downs for Shedeur Sanders. But despite the massive snub, his charm is refusing to slow down. A $30 million team is still eyeing him. The Toronto Argonauts swiftly added Shedeur Sanders to their negotiation list after the NFL draft concluded Monday. This gives them priority to sign the former Colorado quarterback, should he choose to play in the CFL. TSN's Dave Naylor broke the news, following Sanders' surprising 5th-round selection. Despite finishing his college career ranked 14th in NCAA Division I history, FBS and FCS combined, accumulating 14,343 passing yards, he saw a major fall. Remarkably, he's only the second quarterback ever to surpass 14,000 passing yards while completing over 70% of his passes. Further, among quarterbacks with 13,000 or more passing yards, he's one of just 8 with at least 100 more touchdowns than interceptions. But then, analysts cited character concerns, a perceived lack of elite talent, and Deion's significant pre-draft involvement as reasons for his slide. The Cleveland Browns finally drafted him in the 5th round, having already picked Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel in the third. Once it got to a point where it felt like it was a pretty steep discount, we just felt like, especially relative to the alternative ways that we could use this selection, this made the most sense, Browns GM Andrew Berry said. Let's be real. Cleveland's quarterback situation is very crowded right now, but opportunity remains. Deshaun Watson's season-ending Achilles injury opens the door for a new starter. Shedeur Sanders now vies with Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and Josh Gabriel for the job. Coach Kevin Stefanski assures a fair distribution of practice reps. Obviously, you may not divide the practice reps 25, 25, 25, but we feel really confident that we'll have a plan that is fair to each player and fair to the team as well. But even that's uncertain. For now, Sanders shows no CFL interest, but the Argonauts' move keeps that option open. Cleveland's history with Johnny Manziel, a first-round pick who later played in the CFL, makes this a familiar scenario. Whether Sanders follows a similar path remains uncertain, but the CFL is clearly ready if he does. Kevin Stefanski ended Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders' dream NFL team-up at Browns. Report: the Cleveland Browns had a golden opportunity to reunite college football's most electrifying duo, quarterback Shedeur Sanders and two-way star Travis Hunter. With both players available during the 2025 NFL Draft, fans envisioned the dynamic partnership from Colorado continuing in the NFL. However, head coach Kevin Stefanski and the Browns front office had other plans. Instead of selecting Hunter with the number 2 overall pick, the Browns traded the selection to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars seized the moment, drafting Hunter and viewing him as the final piece to their puzzle. Meanwhile, Sanders experienced a surprising slide, eventually being picked by the Browns in the 5th round. This sequence of events not only surprised fans, but also altered the trajectory of both franchises. That speculation took a sharp turn when football analyst Emory Hunt, at F-Ball Game Plan, joined the Ross Tucker podcast and dropped a telling update. In a tweet teasing the episode, they wrote, "The Browns really passed on Travis Hunter. The Jags really wanted Travis Hunter in a sense that it's the final piece of their puzzle." Hunt, in the video, doubled down. "We spent the better part of 4 months saying Travis Hunter was the best player in the draft. The Browns were in position to take him, and they passed." He added that many believed Hunter would be a game-changer for Cleveland, potentially even going to the Giants if the Browns let him slide. Instead, the Jaguars shocked everyone, jumping ahead and going all in to grab what they saw as the final piece of the puzzle. Adding to the intrigue, the Jaguars' front office, led by GM James Gladstone, had been discreetly targeting Hunter. They traded up, sacrificing significant draft capital to ensure they secured him. Gladstone praised Hunter's rare talents and character, suggesting he could significantly impact not just the team, but the sport overall. In an interview, he expressed immense confidence in Hunter's potential, stating, "He's a rare player capable of altering not just games or teams, but the very trajectory of the sport." Meanwhile, the Browns' decision-making raised eyebrows. Despite having multiple opportunities, they passed on Sanders in the early rounds, eventually selecting him in the 5th round. This move surprised many, especially considering Sanders' impressive college career and the Browns' need for a quarterback. Now with that dream duo out the window, fans can't help but wonder if the Browns will regret letting this one slip. Did Kevin Stefanski and the Browns miss a golden opportunity? The Browns' draft strategy has been under scrutiny, not just because they passed on Travis Hunter, but also because their overall draft lacked offensive firepower. Despite glaring needs at receiver and defensive back, they walked away without major upgrades at either position. Hunter, who can dominate on both sides of the ball, seemed like a no-brainer. Instead, Cleveland bet on a developmental strategy that many find confusing. According to draft insiders, the Browns had Hunter high on their board throughout the pre-draft process. They even hosted representatives from his camp during top 30 visits, fueling speculation they were seriously considering him. But when it came time to pick, they not only let him slip away but also allowed another AFC team, one likely to be a direct playoff rival, to snatch him. And it's not just about missing out on Hunter. Pairing him with Shedeur Sanders would have given Cleveland a unique offensive identity, especially in a division where explosive playmakers like Lamar Jackson and Jamar Chase are the norm. Shedeur and Travis already had chemistry from Colorado, and bringing that to the NFL stage could have shortened the learning curve for both players. What's more, Cleveland's current WR room isn't exactly stacked. Amari Cooper is aging, Elijah Moore hasn't broken out yet, and there's no clear long-term WR1. Hunter could have added versatility and electricity, lining up wide or playing shutdown corner, something no other draft prospect offered at his level. Meanwhile, Jacksonville is gearing up to make Hunter the face of their next era. Head coach Doug Peterson reportedly told the front office during their final draft meetings, "If we want to win now, that's our guy." They clearly saw what Cleveland didn't, or wouldn't, and went all in to make it happen. Fans have overwhelmingly approved of the decision to trade up and select Hunter. Now, it's up to Kevin Stefanski and GM Andrew Berry to prove they made the right call. But if Hunter becomes a pro bowler and Sanders lights up in relief of Deshaun Watson, fans in Cleveland may not be so forgiving. As the 2025 season approaches, all eyes will be on how these decisions play out on the field. Will the Browns' choices pay off, or will they be haunted by the stars they let slip away?